They put all the key terms over and over and over and over again. Whatever is being done, they put it 100 times in their own site, in the meta tags, and of course the search engines find it, and I'm always seeing their site. And then I get to the site, and what's actually on the site? Junk, isn't it? Because all they've done is they've loaded their own site with lots of key search terms, and that's how they search engine optimize. What's the other way they can get their site on the top of the list? Links. Other third parties think they're valuable enough to send their own viewers, their own users to that site. Would I, as an honest site, send my viewers to go see a junk, scam, ripoff? No, I would only send a link to a good content-rich site. So that was an insight, that if you want to have a better link, if you want to have a better value search result, make sure it's linked, not just from what's inside the site, because it's easy to put a lot of junk in your site, but it's not as easy to get people to link to you. Second one, which is more efficient? Setting a market price and hoping people pay it, or letting them bid the value? Which is more efficient? Bidding, yeah. I might charge too high and nobody will buy my availables for my banner ads, right? Or I might charge too low and then everybody will buy, but I left money on the table. I could have charged more for my ad. So the best way to set the price efficiently so that I get exactly the maximum revenue for my ad space on my website is to let people bid on it. And the third one, nobody agrees with this, right? Online searchers, they want to wait. Excuse me? When you are doing a search, you want to wait for results? How long do you want to wait? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 2 minutes? How long do you want to wait for your search results? A blink. Good answer. Thank you. Okay. So these were 3 insights. And how did the people these are 2 college guys, 2 guys in a college. How did they get these insights? Do you know? They observed users. They were actually doing a PhD thesis on this field. So that was their whole focus. They were studying the users, studying the people who were using online search. Now, if you knew these things were true, what would you invent to make people's lives better? You would invent Google, okay? What would you do to make sure that links were used to rate search results? You'd change your algorithm in your crawler so that the crawler wouldn't just recognize on the site's SEO, the crawler would start measuring third-party links. What would you do about bidding? You'd change your ad program so that now people would bid on the ads instead of just, like newspapers charge so much per square centimeter, of space. You wouldn't just be charging for exposures, you'd be charging for clicks, and you'd let people bid. And then the last one, if you wanted to add speed, well, they just built a huge global server network. Google did it before anybody needed it. They built ahead of the capacity need. And of course, that's what they did, parallel processors. Now, did it work? What's the biggest search company in the world? Google. What's their annual revenue? It was about 160 billion last I checked or something. Anybody here want to make 160 billion US dollars? No, you don't want to make any money, do you? Yes! Okay, so that's how simple insights are. That's the lesson. If you understand users well enough to understand just these little things. See, Alta Vista was there. Yahoo was there. And they didn't get it. They were focused on their technology. Yahoo was originally just a rating system, and the 2 authors gave their opinion. This is a good website, that's a good website. Okay? But they didn't have a good algorithm for scaling that up. So they just used what was available. They just pulled content and they say, oh, this word is there 100 times, so it must be. They didn't figure this one out. Brin and Page studied the users. They studied the technology, and they realized, hey, that kind of rating isn't working. It's giving junk sites at the top where you go and all you get is an ad to come and look at their junk and a scam. So that's what you can do. You can do what Sergey and Larry did. You can get to know your users better than anybody else. You can get to know ladies. I think it's mostly ladies who buy jewelry, or is it men who buy it for their BB? It's ladies, okay. So you need to understand what is it that ladies really love about jewelry? And what is it that the current technology is not giving them? Where's an opportunity for you to add value? You see this? You see how it works? You get to know your insights about your customers better, you can be as big as Google. So let's just try it. How are you doing on insights? Either you have a business or you have not. But tell us a fact, not a guess, not a gut, not an ASSUME, not an assumption, but tell us a fact that is true, that you are going to address in your business that the competition is not addressing. Okay? And there's a list of categories. Can you do it? 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go! 30 seconds. Three, two, one. Okay, time. Someone at this table, what is a fact you have recognized that is going to help you make your 1,000 crores?
Okay, we need to reach out to people fastest with pinpoint accuracy.
And that's based on what fact?
Based on information dissemination.
Okay. So again, state me a truth about customers or about technology.
Right now, the answer is not digital.
Okay. Let me just reflect back what you told me. You said we need to. That's not a fact about customers. That's a statement about we. Tell me something about customers.
They need information.
Customers need information quickly. That is a statement about customers. You hear the difference? We need to do something is not a statement about customers. Customers need information quickly. Can you build on that? What makes you believe that they need it? Are you basing that on a guess, an assumption, or an observation? What did you observe?
Reflects the trend. It reflects the way the society is progressing. People are getting more and more information. They are accessing the latest technologies at their fingertips, and hence they expect people to come out with their part of the story the quickest.
Okay. You've said a lot about what people are expecting and what they have access to. I agree, they do have access. But what makes you think they are expecting? Remember, we want to understand customers' minds and
Heart.
he's telling me about what's in their mind.
Right.
How do you know what's in their mind? Are you a brain surgeon, sir?
No.
Did you take a bone saw and you cut off somebody's skull and looked inside the brain? How do you know what they're expecting?
It's based on going back to the customer time and again, constantly engaging with them.
Okay.
That's how you gauge as to what
You have done.
Yeah, we keep doing, we keep engaging with our customers.
Now let me make it even harder for you. Tell me specifically, as if you were in a court of law, and you are the witness on the witness box. I saw, or I heard. Evidence only.
It's a combination of both.
Just tell me some specific, sir, you're on the witness stand, you must only tell what you have seen and heard. What did you see, and what specifically, what did you see?
Okay.
And what did you hear?
I've seen my customers using the latest in technology,
Brilliant.
right? And I feel the urge to reach out to them through that media.
Sir, you're not here to tell about what you're feeling.
Okay.
The question was only what did you see and what did you hear?
Yeah. So using the latest in technology, right? And I heard them talking about how, different organizations deliver the products and services we are into.
Good. Now it took us about a minute to get there, but sir has done his homework. He has gone out into the field and he has been with the customer and he has seen how they are using his information, and he has not talked with them, but he heard them talking about. He paid attention. Thank you. Thank you very much. You can sit down. That is brilliant. That is what we're talking about. Unless you have observed your customers. Let me tell you a wonderful, wonderful story from the IT field. Anybody familiar with Thomson Reuters? Who knows what they provide? Latest financial data, not just what you were talking about. Latest financial data. And traders use it, and individual investors use it, and so on and so forth. And they are a very innovative company. I've done some work with them. They wanted to have a better product. They were already market leaders. So if you want to have a better product, you need a new insight. Insight. I often say the value of innovation is not in the idea. Most ideas fail. The value of the innovation is in the insight. So what they did is they went to the customers and they asked a really good question. Say, we are giving you information. We are giving you market pricing, trade volumes. We're giving you these things. Please tell us in your work, they could either go watch it or they ask this question. What are you doing 3 minutes before you use our information? You go to our information. And 3 minutes after you look at our information. Got it? You're looking at our information. Please tell us what you're doing before and after. And lo and behold, what did they learn? They were great at giving information, but now that didn't make the customer's life better. Now they were able to learn how to make the customer's life better by helping the customer find the information they wanted easier, because 3 minutes earlier they were doing this and they needed the information for this specific application. And then after they got the information, they were able to make the customer's lives better by making that information shiftable or draggable or droppable or whatever, sendable into the next job they were going to do. You see, by being focused on their technology, they couldn't do much to improve the life. But when they stopped focusing on Thomson Reuters and started focusing on the trader and observed the trader's way of looking at things and the trader's way of operations and the trader's need and the trader's habits, then they were able to deliver more value and their market share grew. Very simple question. What are you doing 3 minutes before and what are you doing 3 minutes after? Clear or not clear? I hope it's clear. Okay. Anyone else want to share a fact that you are addressing in your business? A fact. You've done a lot. Anyone else want to go? If not, we'll let this gentleman go again. Okay, please go again. What's a fact?
When you do in India, you do it in Indian way, because
Yes.
nobody is going to tell you the truth.
Right.
Okay, so
Thank
that
you. It
is-
wasn't me who said that. It was
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. So nobody is going to tell you the truth because
आप
they don't
विश्वास
want to-
नहीं करते हैं कि मैं भारतीय हूँ, लेकिन वो आप विश्वास करते हैं कि वो भारतीय है।
no, you look pretty much like Indian.
हाँ, धन्यवाद। शुक्रिया आपका।
Okay, so what we said is, why do you think carpooling is not going to work? We didn't say that, are you going to carpool, are you going to do this or that? Why? What are the top 4 reasons it will not work? And that was the, question side of it.
Yes.
And then, out of that, there is a fact. 80% people said flexibility is the biggest reason why I will not do carpool. Then 66% people said finding people is difficult. I only have 1 or 2 options near my home who was going towards my office. And then messy payments. People said, again, that's very, very specific to India, don't feel comfortable asking for money while you're traveling. So people said, I don't feel comfortable asking for my money as a car owner, and passengers said, I don't feel comfortable paying, 33 rupees or 45 rupees and things like that.
Thank you. That's exactly the answer. See, Sir has done sophisticated conversations. In our innovation practice, there is talking to people, which is what most people know how to do, and they don't do it effectively. And then there's something called skilled interviewing, and that's what we do. So they did much more skilled interviewing. They knew, do it the Indian way. Just don't ask them, oh, will you use a carpooling service? Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. But no, they'll never use it. Okay, brilliant. So you see, he got some facts. And where did the facts lead him? Into the heart. I feel uncomfortable asking for money. I feel uncomfortable paying. He got into the heart. That's brilliant. When you understand the heart of your customer, even in a B2B environment, better than your competitors do, or even if you understand the same thing that everybody else knows, but you invent something to address it, that's how you can differentiate, that's how you can succeed, that's how you can get to 1,000 crores. So learn from this gentleman. Don't launch your business without a deep understanding, not only of technology, you need technology, but understand your customers by observing them. Questions, comments on this before we move on? Okay, let's keep going. So that was step one. Half the effort, half the time is on insight development, on observation, because the value of innovation is not in the idea, it's in the insight. Now though, let's say we've got an insight. Do you see how easy it is to invent a solution once you have an insight? If your insight is that, I'll give you 1 second. If your insight is that the service, after-sales service is rotten, you invent a better after-sales service, okay? If your insight is that customers need information on the dot, then you get a way to process the information on the dot. Your question, sir.
The question about insights is how do you recruit the right set of people and how many is good enough to say that you have the right insight?
The question was, how do you find the right customers and how many is enough? Great question. There is no hard and fast rule. I saw one innovation consultant wrote on this issue. He said, basically, you want to have at least 60 customer visits or customer tracking or videotaping or whatever. But he said, what you basically want is, it's like when, have you ever tried home popping corn? Okay, mostly we use the microwave nowadays, right? Anybody remember the old way where you just heat the oil and put the kernels in? Okay. How did you know when the pot was done? You stopped getting new pops. Same thing with your research. If you stop getting new answers, you got the answers. As far as choosing the customers, you use your gut. You say, who is my target market? And then you find people that fit that profile. But it's also wise to look at others. Say, who do I think is a non-customer? What is it that makes him a non-customer? There's a whole thing called blue ocean strategy, and it's about how do you turn a non-customer into a customer. But start with the one you think is most likely. That's your best return on your money and your time. And then the target number that one person gave is 60. That's not a hard rule. I've done it with 10, 20. Sometimes you can do it with 2 or 3, but that's risky because they may not be representative of everybody. But the guy, you can be fairly confident you've done your work when you stop getting new answers. It's like popping corn. When you stop hearing new pops, the batch is done. Any other questions about that? Super. Okay. So you saw, once you know the insight, you know the problem, you know the opportunity, it's often relatively easy to develop the solution. But not everybody's good at inventing, mostly because they've had it whipped out of them. What did Papa and Mama Ji tell you when you were little? No, 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 but Nana Ji is not green, draw her brown. Nana Ji is not yellow, draw her brown, okay? All right? You ever heard of a guy called, oh gosh, who's the guy I'm thinking of? The Fauve style of painting in France? Matisse? Matisse, okay? He painted like orange people, orange skies, blue grass, okay? How much does a Matisse sell for? 20 million US. And we're telling little